I think there's 3 guys that I'm comfortable saying are 3 of the 5 best players ever. And it's Kareem, LeBron, and MJ. After that, I think there's like 5 or 6 guys that you could make an argument for as either the 4th guy on a Mount Rushmore or a top 5 player. And Steph is one of those guys, to be honest with you.
Like that.
Steph is one of those, and so is Tim, so is Larry, so is Magic. Wilt for sure. Yeah, Kobe.
Kobe had no flaws. I don't like talking about guys' flaws, but if we're talking about the greatest ever, we should be allowed to pick apart people's games. That's all I'm saying. You can't have any flaws. So if you name each guy, you have to say he didn't have a flaw.
Well, I think the counterpoint to this, your thing is, I think what you're talking about is a player. And I'm talking about the player plus the resume, plus the career, plus the era. I think era does matter.
Yes.
I think era certainly matters.
Yes.
I'm not making a case for George Mike in here. Okay. But I think the resume is adds to the skill set. When we talk about skills, I think a lot of times it comes down to this guy can put on a show dribbling the basketball and make tough shots, right? I think that's generally speaking what we talk about with skills.
Yes.
Because everybody, when they talk about the most skilled players, the same guys always get brought up. It's Kyrie, it's Kobe, maybe Kevin Durant's in there. They don't talk about LeBron. They don't talk about Shaq, because to them, the best player is based on aesthetics, not necessarily performance and effectiveness.
I would say,
and aesthetics, and that's where I think there's like this really blurry gray area when we talk about all these things, like who is the most skilled, who's the best player, who's got the best career. Like, you have to factor in all this stuff, because when we talk about the best career, like the best resume, well, the era matters in that. The era matters.
What's the criteria on a resume? Is it championships? Is it MVPs?
I don't subscribe to ring culture, but I think the rings are important in the conversation, but they're not the be all and end all in the conversation.
I'm 100% agree with you on that one. I'm not a ring culture guy, but I benefited from that. Like, I know I have a lot of flaws, and we were talking about, I think there should be tiers of the Hall of Fame. If Kobe was that good, if LeBron is this good, if Kareem was that good, if Tim Duncan was that good, imagine how, like what I just said about Larry Bird. Like, Larry Bird is white. He was this good, that I'm saying that he's this good. That's how good he was. That's how good Michael Jordan is, or was. That it's not even close. Like, I don't think we understand when we see what MJ was doing. He was the most competitive player out there. Like, he had a heat culture before the heat culture. Like, he was ready to, his flaws that we saw was that everything turned into a competition.
Some basketball debates are just back and forth arguments about stats or championship rings. But every once in a while, a single statement lands with such force that it silences the entire room. In one conversation, Andre Iguodala, 2015 Finals MVP, one of the most versatile and intelligent defenders of his era, looked J.J. Redick straight in the eye and declared, "Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan had no flaws." That sentence hit like a bomb. It wasn't the casual opinion of a fan. It was the testimony of a player who had guarded Kobe directly, faced Jordan, and was entrusted with the job of slowing down LeBron James in the NBA Finals. Iguodala wasn't speaking from imagination. He was speaking from experience, nights spent staring down Kobe's cold eyes, possessions spent trying to contain Jordan's unstoppable arsenal, and that truth left J.J. Redick unsettled. He shifted in his chair, changed his posture, and scrambled to redirect the conversation. But everyone watching could feel it. Iguodala had drawn a line in the sand. If you want to be the GOAT, you must be flawless. And only Kobe and Jordan ever reached that standard. Skill versus resume. How J.J. dodged the point. Iguodala was speaking about something very specific. Pure skill. In his eyes, when it comes to absolute greatness, only 2 names reached perfection: Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant. They had no weaknesses. From individual technique, scoring from every level, cold-blooded execution in big moments, to elite defense at the highest level. But instead of addressing that directly, J.J. Redick chose to avoid it. He didn't dare confront the claim that Jordan and Kobe were flawless, because that was a losing battle from the start. Instead, JJ immediately changed the rules of the debate. He pulled the conversation away from skill and injected other criteria like resume, longevity, championships, stats, era. In other words, when he couldn't refute the skill argument, JJ tried to shift the playing field to an area where LeBron James held an advantage. He turned the question from, who is the most complete flawless player, into who has the longest career and the most records. This is a common tactic among modern analysts. When an undeniable truth is presented, they simply change the standard of judgment. But that doesn't alter the reality. In the realm of skill, LeBron has obvious flaws. Jordan and Kobe did not. Kobe and MJ, the symbols of perfection. Andre Iguodala was not exaggerating. When he declared, Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan had no flaws, it wasn't a line thrown out to please the crowd. It was a testimony from a defender who had guarded them directly, studied their games for weaknesses, and ultimately walked away with the sobering realization: there were none. With Kobe Bryant, you witnessed a living canvas of basketball artistry. His footwork was like music, each pivot, each spin, each fadeaway executed with precision so pure it looked pre-programmed. You knew the move was coming, you could anticipate the fade, but you were still powerless. Kobe didn't just beat you, he made you feel small, like you were fighting against something too perfect to resist. Kobe could score from anywhere. He'd dribble, carve space, and rise into a jumper no hand could reach. He'd attack the rim through contact and still finish impossibly. At the free throw line, he was ice-cold, utterly dependable in the biggest moments. And he was never just an offensive artist. 12 all-defensive team selections proved he was equally committed to shutting down the other team's best player. But what made Kobe a nightmare for defenders like Iguodala was his killer mentality. The tighter the game, the higher the stakes, the more dangerous he became. Where others saw pressure, Kobe saw a stage. He wanted the last shot. He lived for it. And most of the time, he delivered, burying you with a cold-blooded dagger you would replay in your mind for the rest of your career. Then there was Michael Jordan, the man who wasn't just perfect, but who defined perfection itself. Jordan combined supernatural athleticism with surgical basketball intelligence. If Kobe was the closest copy, then Jordan was the untouchable original. Jordan had every shot in the book: the fadeaway from the post, the deadly pull-up, drives slicing through entire defenses, dunks that shook arenas. But he wasn't only about scoring. He won Defensive Player of the Year and was named to 9 all-defensive first teams, proving he dominated on both ends of the floor. Facing Jordan didn't just mean trying to stop his jumper, it meant surviving a relentless defender trying to rip the ball from your hands. And above all, Jordan embodied clutch DNA. The shot over Elo, the last shot in 1998, these weren't highlights, they were death sentences for opponents. Everyone knew the ball would be in his hands. Everyone knew he would take the shot, and everyone knew they couldn't stop it. The most terrifying part, as Doc Rivers once admitted, was Jordan's intensity. Rivers thought no player could sustain that ferocity for an entire season. But Jordan didn't just sustain it for 1 year, he sustained it for an entire career. Every game, every possession, was treated like his last. There were no easy nights, no meaningless plays. Jordan turned every moment into a finals moment. And when coaches tried to scheme against Kobe or Jordan, they ran into the same cruel truth. There was no weakness to exploit. Force Kobe left, he'd still score. Force Jordan to shoot deep, he'd still bury it. Pray they'd crumble under pressure. They only grew colder, sharper, deadlier. This is what separated Kobe and Jordan from everyone else. Shaquille O'Neal dominated the paint, but free throws betrayed him. Magic Johnson was legendary, but not a scorer from every level. LeBron James is durable, brilliant, but free throws, handle, and clutch factor have always left cracks in the armor. Every legend has a flaw except Kobe and Jordan. Iguodala wasn't just offering praise. He was laying down a standard. An Everest of basketball that only 2 men in history have ever climbed. A standard so high that every generation after LeBron, Durant, Kyrie, Giannis has been forced to live in their shadow. Greatness can be many things. But perfection? Perfection belongs to only 2 names. And when Iguodala said, Kobe and MJ were flawless, it wasn't a slogan. It was the truth that every defender, who ever faced them, has had to bow their head and admit. LeBron James and the flaws that cannot be hidden. LeBron James is great, no one denies that. He is a monument of physical power, of durability stretched across more than 2 decades. He is an intelligent player with the vision of a coach on the floor, a man who rewrote countless records. But greatness is not the same as perfection, and this was Iguodala's point. LeBron, for all his greatness, still has flaws, obvious flaws that everyone can see. First, the free throws. Over his career, LeBron has hovered around 73%. For a superstar who has often been placed in the GOAT conversation, that number isn't just low, it's a burden. Fans remember the moments when he stood at the line in decisive games and let the chance slip away. Think back to the 2011 Eastern Finals, or other playoff collapses where missed free throws cost momentum. Kobe and Jordan? They were killers, cold, surgical, and merciless, turning every free throw in crunch time into a dagger that sealed victory. Next, the clutch factor. LeBron has delivered in big moments, no one denies that. But there are too many times when he deferred, when he passed instead of taking the shot, when the final attempt ended as an airball or rimmed out, leaving nothing but regret. The very essence of greatness is the fear you instill in your opponent, that feeling of inevitability. Jordan and Kobe had it. Everyone in the arena knew the game was over if they had the ball in the final seconds. With LeBron, that feeling has never been absolute. Then there's shot creation. LeBron is powerful, explosive, but too often dependent on size and speed to bulldoze his way through defenses. When the game slowed down, when opponents built walls like Boston in 2010 or Dallas in 2011, LeBron's limitations in creating refined, unstoppable shots were exposed. He doesn't have Kobe's ballet-like footwork. He doesn't own Jordan's iconic fadeaway. He has never had that one weapon that forces defenders to despair the moment he lifted the ball. And let's not ignore the ability to control the ball. Compared to Kyrie, Kobe, or Jordan, LeBron has never reached that level of pure, unshakable control. He is an excellent playmaker, yes, but in the realm of raw skill, the ball in LeBron's hands doesn't give the aura of untouchable. Against Jordan or Kobe, trying to steal the ball was suicide. Against LeBron, defenders have sometimes been able to exploit his dribble, force him into corners, and take away rhythm. None of this makes LeBron less great, but it proves one truth: he is not flawless. He is great in career longevity, in records, in accomplishments. But in the pure skill category, in the standard of no weaknesses, LeBron is not standing with Jordan and Kobe, and this is why Redick had to change the rules. He could not deny LeBron's flaws, because the eyes, the numbers, the playoff memories all exposed them. So dragged the debate into resume, career points, games played, rings, longevity, era. But by doing so, only revealed his own weakness. He couldn't defend LeBron on the actual topic skill. It was like losing a chess game and suddenly saying, from now on, the winner is whoever makes the most moves. It's spin. It's misdirection. Iguodala didn't play that game. He didn't need new narratives or shifting standards. He simply told the raw truth every defender who ever faced Kobe and Jordan already knew. They had no flaws. And in drawing that line, he exposed the real gap. LeBron, though legendary, still has cracks. Kobe and Jordan did not. Explosive conclusion. Flawless is the ultimate standard. In the end, everything comes back to one simple but blinding truth. In basketball, greatness can be defined in many ways by numbers, by trophies, by longevity. But perfection has only one definition: leaving no weakness for an opponent to exploit. Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan were the embodiment of that perfection. They weren't just great players, they were complete machines. Every shot, every defensive stand, every clutch possession was proof that you could not rise higher. Iguodala, a man who faced them directly, simply confirmed what every true defender has always known: they had no flaws. LeBron James? He is the legend of endurance, the man who may have written the longest novel in NBA history. But no matter how long a novel runs, it will never be the same as a flawless epic, every line etched into the memory of humanity. Kobe and Jordan were that epic. Redick tried to dodge the truth by changing the criteria. He shifted the debate to numbers, to narratives, to longevity. But all spin collapses when held against a single, unshakable standard: flawless. And in that conversation, didn't just lose to Iguodala, he exposed himself, clinging to fragile arguments to defend a narrative he knew deep down had no foundation. Flawless is not just a word. It is the standard. It is the final measure separating greatness from immortality. And in over 75 years of NBA history, only two names have earned the right to cross that line: Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan. LeBron may be the monument of the longest career, but Kobe is the eternal flame, and Jordan is the sun, the everlasting light of basketball. When Iguodala said they had no flaws, he closed the debate, because that truth requires no further argument. GOAT is not about who accumulates the most. GOAT is about who is the most perfect, and perfection belongs only to Kobe and Michael Jordan.